Hi, this is Stephanie from the PUC. It looks like someone has joined the Zoom conference. The phone number starts in 970 and ends in 685. Can you unmute and tell me your first and last name and the company that you are with?
Yeah, my full name is Luis Enrique Nava Quiroz, and I'm calling on behalf of Revelation Limo LLC.
Okay, hold on one second. Okay, I see it here. You said it was Louis Nava with Revelation Limo LLC. Is that right?
Yes, that's
Okay. Okay. Do you mind if I rename your screen just so it shows that on there?
I'm sorry?
I was going to rename the screen just so it shows instead of your phone number, Louis Nava with Revelation Limo LLC. Is that okay?
I don't have a screen. I'm calling via cell phone.
Right, but the screen that I see, just so it doesn't show your
Okay,
phone number, it just shows your name and your company.
perfect. Yeah,
Okay, thanks.
thank you.
Okay, I just renamed the portion of the screen that just shows Louis Nava with Revelation Limo LLC. And then, Mr. Nava, are you going to have any documents that you intend to show? Did you just want to speak to the judge? What did you intend to do? We won't be starting until noon, so I just wanted to make sure that we're set up.
Yeah, I want to speak to the judge and see what's going on with the company.
Okay, but you don't have
I do,
documents?
yeah, I do have documents of cancellation. Once I cancel, when I canceled my insurance and when I submitted the cancellation form. Let me see.
Okay, and those are documents that you intend to show today?
Yeah, if I can. I'm not sure how
So,
one would
I can
show those
send you,
documents.
okay, I can send you, an email, but you'll have to upload the documents as a PDF into this other website. It's box.com. Are you able to do
Uh,
that?
okay, yeah, I
Okay.
can do that.
And then if you can spell your email slowly for me so I can write it down, and then I'll send you two different emails with that.
Perfect. Okay.
I'm ready.
It's, let me spell it for you.
Mhm.
It is the email LENRIQUE NA, V as a Victor, A, QUIROZ as a zebra, iCloud.com. I'm sorry, I forgot after my last name, Quiroz, it is at iCloud.com.
Okay, I missed part of it. L Enrique, and then what is after that?
Nava, NA, V as a Victor, A,
Okay,
then Quiroz, it'll be QUIROZ as a zebra, at iCloud.com.
okay. I'm gonna spell it back to you. I think I have it now. L Enrique Nava, and then QUIROZ at iCloud.com. Is that right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. It looks like there's one more person on the line, so those emails will be coming in. It'll take me a few minutes to get that to you, but there's going to be two. One from me. My name is Stephanie Kunkel, and it'll have instructions on how to do it. And the other one is going to come directly from box.com. And if you don't receive two of them, make sure to check your spam folder because sometimes the box.com goes directly into there. But the box.com is going to have an invitation where you have to accept the invitation and then upload your documents into the box.com folder. Okay.
Perfect.
So, but just give me 1 minute because I do have someone else to talk to that's also on here. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I think you're the only person. So give me just a couple minutes and I'll get that out to you.
Mr. Nava, please keep your voice up when you're speaking.
Okay.
Okay, I sent you the invitation from box.com. So check your email and then refresh your screen for that. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check your spam folder. And then I'm going to send you one from my own email address in just a minute as well.
Okay.
Okay, this is Stephanie again from the PUC. It looks like someone's joined the call that starts in 5:05 and ends in 396. Can you unmute and tell me your first and last name and the business that you are with?
Tobias Useglio, T-Bone Services, Inc.
Are you calling on the phone number as well?
No, just the computer.
Oh, I was asking about the person that's calling with a 505 area code number and it ends in 396. Can you tell me your first and last name, please? You'll need to unmute your telephone if you're calling by phone by doing *6 to unmute your phone. The person that is calling with the area code of 505 and ends in 396, if you can unmute by pressing *6 and tell me who you are appearing on behalf of and your first and last name.
Okay, Tanya Ridgely, and it's Integrity Roadside and Recovery.
Integrity Roadside and Recovery?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me 1 second. And Tanya, again, your last name?
Ridgely, Ridgley.
Okay. Okay, and Tanya, do you mind if I change your screen name? Just it shows instead of your phone number, your name and Integrity Roadside Recovery LLC.
No, that's fine.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, and then Ms. Ritchie, are you going to have any documents that you intend to show the judge today, or you just want to speak?
No, so I know it's regarding insurance. We don't have insurance. We actually are no longer running
Okay.
a company.
Okay, the judge hasn't started yet, but just give us a second. We have a couple more people to talk to before the judge starts a hearing, and then she'll go through the process and then let you speak when it's appropriate. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
And then, okay, so someone else is on the line. It says T-Bone. Can you tell me your first and last name and the company that you are with?
Tobias Useglio, T-Bone Services, Inc.
Okay. Just a second.
Mr. Nava, can you mute yourself until you're called on, please?
Good.
Okay, I see that on the sheet, and the last name is Usseglio. Is that right?
Correct.
With T-Bones Services Inc. Okay.
Correct.
Are you able to rename yourself if you click on the top three dots on the screen? it'll show, you can go down to rename. So first and last name, and then the company that you're with, if you could do that, please.
Yes, I think I found it. Okay.
And getting back to Tanya Ridgely, was it last name is Ridgley?
Ridgley, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then Mr. Useglio, are you going to have any documents to present to the judge, or did you just want to speak?
I guess speak because I can't turn in insurance documents personally.
Okay, that'll work. And then it looks like we have one more person that joined on the phone. It starts with 303 and ends in 424. Can you unmute and tell me the first and last name and the business that you are with? And to unmute, it's *6. Again, the person that's on the phone, it starts with 303 and the phone number ends in 424. Can you unmute and tell me your first and last name and the business that you are with? And to unmute from a cell phone is *6. I can't unmute you on my end. But the person with 303 and ends in 424, can you unmute and tell me your first and last name and the business that you are with so we can get started with the hearing? Judge Han, I think we're ready if you're ready. They're not responding.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Kunkel. Couldn't do this without you. All right. Thank you all for being here this afternoon. Welcome. Tracy, I think you are ready to go. I heard you chime in a minute ago. So are you ready to get started?
I am.
All right. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and call today's proceeding. It's proceeding number 24C-0215-INS. Today is Wednesday, June 12th, 2024. It is now 12:08. This hearing was scheduled to commence at noon. We took a little bit of extra time so that Ms. Kunkel could help everyone get situated and find out if they had exhibits and make sure everybody was properly identified. I'm going to give one more try. There is an individual out there who is on this call who has identified right now as being with area code 303 and the last three digits are 424. If, as Ms. Kunkel has asked several times, if you are out there and can hear us, you are on this call, we would ask that you please quickly unmute and identify yourself so that we can change your name, which would make it easier for me to run the hearing. So if the person who is on the call whose phone ends in digits 424 could please unmute using *6 on your phone and let us know who you are, that'd be very helpful. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to listen to hear your story today. Okay, well, unfortunately, that person doesn't seem to want to unmute, so we'll
I'm sorry,
get
Judge,
started.
to interrupt. It looks like
Yeah.
J. Alfredo 2005 just joined the call. Mr. Alfredo, do you want me to check and see with this one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can
So
hear you,
this
and
is-
go ahead,
sorry.
Steph. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hi.
Go.
This is Stephanie from the PUC. Can you tell me your first and last name and the business that you're appearing on behalf of?
First name's Jose, last name Carvajal, and I'm here with Pantusa Towing.
Okay, and can you tell me your last name again?
Carvajal, Carbajal.
Carbajao?
Yes.
Carvajal? Okay.
Carvajal.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm outside and it's really sunny.
And are you going to have any documents that you need to present today? Or are you just going to speak to the judge?
So I did speak to my boss and he did renew
Okay,
the insurance, and they should be sending over whatever document needs to be presented.
okay. I just want to double check something. Hold on 1 second. Okay, oh, I see your name. It's Carbajal, Carbajal. Is that right?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Pantusa Towing Colorado LLC. It looks like you are on your cell phone, but let me quickly see if I can change the name so it shows your first and last name. Sometimes it's hard to change on a cell phone. Okay, can you see the name that I just changed for you and tell me if that's right?
Yeah, it popped up on top and
Okay.
it did look correct.
Okay, perfect. And then, so you won't have any documents, you just wanted to speak today?
So he
Well,
did.
we're not started yet. We're not started yet. The judge hasn't totally started the hearing yet, but I just wanted to make sure that I had everything in order if you had documents to present today.
So I do have a document and I don't know if am I able to email it?
No, it has to come through box.com. It has to be submitted in a PDF form.
Okay. Is that something I can do after the hearing or?
Well, I mean, if you wanted to talk to the judge, you could talk to her and then you see how the hearing goes and then go from there. If that's not something that you can do from your cell phone.
No, well, I would have to, I don't know if I can do it while I'm on here and I'd just try and log in, but if not, then I can probably do it after.
Okay.
But I'll wait for the judge if I need to.
Okay. Judge, I think
Mr. Carbajal, am I saying that correctly? Let me just tell you, there are several other respondents on this call as well, so you may have an opportunity to upload whatever you want to upload while one of them is having their opportunity. I'm going to give everybody here a chance to speak to me and to tell me their story, so you might be able to upload it while they're talking so that we can get this moving along.
Okay, that'll work.
And also just, I and other people from commission staff will be explaining the procedures, so it may not even be necessary for you to upload it. The documents, the insurance proof has to come from the insurance company. They're the ones who need to file it, so it might be a matter of them needing to do it. But if you have it and you want to submit it, you might be able to take an opportunity to do so when one of the other respondents is speaking, okay?
Okay.
Great.
Judge, if that's the case, I do need his email address so I can send him the box.com.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Carbajal, can you do you want to state your email address on the record or do you want to do it? Okay. If you're fine with that, please go ahead.
It's Jose@pantusatowing.com.
Okay. Mr. Carvajal, I will be sending you 2 different emails. You'll get an invitation from box.com. That's the service we use for your documents. You'll have to upload the documents into the folder, accept the invitation, and then upload the document into the folder. And then you'll also get a second one from me. My name's Stephanie Kunkel, and that has instructions on how to use the site. Okay, so you'll have to look for 2 emails. But the first one, if you haven't received one from box.com specifically, make sure you check your spam folder because sometimes it goes into there instead.
Okay.
Okay, so
Understood.
just give me a second and those will come through, but I think we're ready to go, Judge.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ms. Kunkel. You are exceptional at your job. All right. As I indicated earlier, I'm calling proceeding number 24C-0215-INS. This is the Commission's biweekly insurance show cause proceeding set by notices and complaints to individual respondents. My name is Alenka Hahn, and I am the administrative law judge assigned to this case. Consistent with Commission practice, we are webcasting both the audio and the video of this hearing. We are also recording the hearing, and we have a court reporter taking down everything that's being said. To avoid background noise and to ensure that we have a nice, clean record, I would ask that you please keep your microphones muted until it is your turn to speak. When it is your turn, I will call on you. I'm going to ask you to speak loudly and clearly and to not talk over each other so that we can make sure we have a good, clean record. Mr. Carvajal, if you could quickly unmute just to make sure that we don't get any background noise, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. All right. When I call on you, I'm going to ask you to unmute and speak, but please don't unmute until that time. All right, to get going, let me first get some entries of appearance. I need to know who is here today. Let me start with Commission staff and the attorneys representing Commission. Go ahead, Ms. Hayden.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Aileen Chong with the Colorado Attorney General's Office, appearing on behalf of PUC staff. With me as staff witness, Marquita Riley.
Great, thank you, Ms. Chong. I see Ms. Hayden is also on the call. Are you going to be handling the hearing today, Ms. Chong?
I will be handling it. Ms. Hayden is here to help me out if needed.
Wonderful. Welcome. Okay, thank you so much. All right, that takes care of staff. Let me go down the list of respondents that we have appearing with us here today. The first on my list, I have Louis Nava of Revelations Limo. If you could please state your name, spell your last name, and indicate with whom you are here, what company you are representing at this hearing, I'd appreciate it.
I am with Revelation Limo.
You need to, can you state, Mr. Nava, please first state your name and spell your last name for us, and then tell me what organization you're representing.
My name is Luis Nava, and that is N-A-V-A. I am with Revelation Limo.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Nava. All right, next on the list that I've created for myself, I have Tobias Useglio. If you could go ahead, Mr. Useglio, state your name, spell your name, and indicate with whom you are here. Who are you representing at this hearing?
Tobias Useglio, U-S-S-E-G-L-I-O, representing T-Bones Services, Inc.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Useglio. Okay, next I've got Tanya Ridgely. If you go ahead and state your name, spell your name, and indicate who you are representing at this hearing.
It's Tanya Ridgely, R-I-D-G-L-E-Y, and it's Integrity Roadside and Recovery, LLC.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. All right. We still have, well, hang on. Mr. Carvajal, why don't you go ahead? Can you unmute Mr. Carvajal and go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. State your name, spell your name, and tell me who you're representing at this hearing.
Name's Jose, C-A-R-B-A-J-A-L. I'm representing Pantusa Towing.
Thank you. Can you say that one more time? Your last name cut out a little bit. Do it one more time.
Carvajal, C-A-R-B-A-J-A-L.
With Pantusa Towing. Okay. Thank you so much,
Correct.
Mr. Carvajal. All right. Last, I do see still the caller who has called in from a phone number that begins area code 303 and ends 424. Again, I'm going to ask you if you can, if you're listening to this, please unmute at this point by hitting *6 on your phone, and please identify yourself, tell us your name, spell your name, and indicate who you are representing at this hearing.
Hello, my name is Edwin Sifferlin, and I'm here to represent MTN Transportation, LLC.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to slow down for a second. First, can you spell your last name for us, please?
S as in Sam, Iffferlin.
Sifferlin? Okay. Am I saying that right?
Correct.
Okay, and
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, who did you say you were representing?
MTN Transportation LLC.
All right, MTN Transportation, I see it.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Mr. Sifferlin, I'm going to take one moment and Ms. Kunkel, do you want to speak with Mr. Sifferlin before we get rolling here?
Sure. Are you going to have documents that you need to present today to the judge, or did you just want to speak?
Email them to you. At this time, I'm at the Public Utilities Office, room 250, but I assumed that you couldn't hear me because I kept trying to talk and I wasn't getting a response. But I didn't hit *6. So anyways, I'm out front and I have all the documents with me. I've been insured since April 12th, and I have all the documents with me.
Okay.
Can I email them to you later?
No, they have to come through to show them during the hearing. They have to come through box.com.
Okay, I came to the hearing to be here in person. I didn't realize that it was by phone only.
Yeah, that's all the instructions have the Zoom information on there. I'm not sure how you want to proceed, Judge.
Well, Mr. Sifferlin, as Ms. Kunkel has indicated, when the notice of this hearing was sent out, it was accompanied by an attachment that laid out the instructions, which clearly indicated that the hearing was going to be conducted via Zoom. All of our insurance show cause hearings are conducted via Zoom, generally for the convenience of the respondents. We have found that many of them are calling in from various places. As you can see from this call, there are several that are calling from their cars and whatnot. So I'm sorry that there was that mix up and you misunderstood the instructions. I obviously, if you're at the PUC office, I don't know that you have the ability to upload those documents at this time. So I think
I don't.
I will give you an opportunity to address me, to address this hearing, and we'll talk about it. And I think maybe the best course of action is for you to upload them to box.com after the hearing. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be able to get to a location in time for the hearing to be able to do that. Is that right? I mean, I guess, Ms. Chong, what is your take on this? Are you comfortable with Mr. Sifferlin providing documents pertaining to MTN transport after the hearing, since he can't upload them at this time?
If I could have a moment to ask Miss Riley what her preference is.
Sure.
Well,
Ms. Riley, do you want to weigh in?
if it's insurance papers, again, all insurance must be done electronically through the insurance company. So even if you do show us that you have proof of insurance, it still must come from the insurance company. And if you like, you can either email me or call me after the hearing and we can talk more. If you like, I can give you my direct number and my direct email, if that's okay with you, Judge.
That's fine, Ms. Riley. I appreciate you explaining that to him. The only point I would make is that if he wants those documents admitted for the hearing for me to consider in context of the hearing, I can't do that except through the box.com folder, because that is the system that we use. However, Mr. Sifferlin, as Ms. Riley indicated, the documents need to be uploaded electronically from your insurance carrier in order to show compliance. So if that's all you're trying to do, then for purposes of being concerned about the revocation of your permit, the best is probably for your insurance company to upload them at some point anyway, because just showing me that you have insurance doesn't necessarily show that you've come into compliance with the PUC's requirements. Does that make sense?
Well, not exactly. I mean, I got insurance. I can't explain why the insurance company did not send the Form E.
Mm-hmm. It's happened sometimes. I will give you a chance to explain all that during the course of the hearing.
Okay.
I'm just
All right.
at this moment right now just worried about whether you're going to try and admit them as exhibits. And given that you don't have the capacity to upload them to box.com, my inclination is to proceed with the hearing and let you submit them afterwards. I think that's the best course of action because it is now already 12:25, so we do need to get rolling. This hearing was set to start at noon, so I would like to get things moving if we can. Does that sound reasonable?
Yes.
Okay. Let me continue with the instructions. Yeah. Ms. Kunkel was just indicating that you should be able to e-file them later with the case. So we'll get all the explanations out for how you can do that. All right. I've gotten everyone's entries of appearance. We've stated spelled last names and indicated with whom they're appearing. Now, let me ask staff, are you still seeking to revoke the permits of the respondents who have appeared here today?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so no dismissals against any of the people who are appearing right now?
No.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Chung. All right. Let me run through and make sure that all of you who are appearing here as respondents are able to appear in front of the PUC. Under the PUC regulations and rules, corporations are supposed to be represented by an attorney. I'm presuming that it is unclear to me at this point whether any of you are legal counsel for your companies or are representing them as non-attorneys. In order to appear as a non-attorney, I need to make sure that we can, that you meet certain criteria. So let me ask you each in turn. First, let me say, Mr. Nava, if you could please unmute real quickly. Can you tell me if your company is incorporated or is an LLC?
It is an LLC.
Okay. So an LLC does have to be represented by an attorney, but there are some exceptions to that general rule. So let me ask a few questions of you to make sure that you fall within those exceptions. How many people own your company, Revelation Limo?
It is just me.
You are the only sole owner. Okay. And what is your position with the company?
I'm the owner.
Okay. So as the sole owner and a sole proprietor of that business, you are able to represent Revelation Limo at this hearing. You fall within the exceptions. The exceptions are just generally that 3 or less owners and that the person is affiliated with the company in a position of control. All right, next, T-Bone Services. Mr. Useglio, can you tell me how many owners does T-Bone Services have?
Just one, myself.
You're the sole owner as well. And what is your position with the company?
Owner operator.
Okay. All right, then based on this information and the record as a whole, I find that you too may represent your company consistent with commission rules. All right, Integrity Roadside, Ms. Ridgely, can you tell me how many owners does Integrity Roadside have?
There are 2 owners, myself and my brother.
All right, just 2. And what is your position with the company?
Owner operator.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ridgely. Based on that information and the record as a whole, I find that you also may represent your company, Integrity Roadside, at this hearing consistent with commission rules. All right, Mr. Sifilin with MTN Transport. Can you tell me how many people own MTN Transport?
2 people, my wife and I.
Okay, and what is your role with the company?
President and owner operator.
All right. So with just two owners, you two may represent your company. Based on the information and the record as a whole, I find that you may represent MTN Transportation consistent at this hearing, consistent with commission rules. And last, Mr. Carvajal, can you tell me how many owners Pantusa Towing has?
Two owners, Brian and Dorian Pantusa.
And what is your role with the company?
The general manager here in Colorado Springs.
Okay, so you are in a position of an officer or a manager of the company. All right, thank you. Based on that information, you may represent Pantusa Towing at this hearing, consistent with commission rules. All right, great. Okay, so we've established who's here, that all of you are able to represent your entities in a non-attorney role. But now let me explain how these hearings are going to work and how this is going to run. First, I need you to understand that since commission staff has filed this complaint, staff has the burden to prove that the allegations in the complaints are true. This means that staff will present evidence first. This usually comes in the form of witness testimony and documents that they present as exhibits. You will have the opportunity to ask staff's witness questions during the hearing, and if staff asks for documents to be admitted into evidence, I will give each of you the opportunity to object. If you have an objection to the admission of a document, I need the legal reason that you need to provide me with the legal reason that you think I cannot consider the document as evidence in this case. Okay? Once staff has presented its evidence, it will be your turn to present evidence, and I will address each of you in turn and give you each an opportunity. You can testify if you like, and you can also present documents that you'd like me to consider in deciding the case against you. Those are the documents you've been discussing with Ms. Kunkel about uploading to box.com so that we can view them at this hearing. All right. Let me ask each of you if you are would like to testify and intend to do so today. Mr. Nava, will you be testifying? Mr. Nava, are you testifying? Do you want to testify today on behalf of Revelation Limo?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Seglio, are you intending to testify on behalf of T-Bones Services?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Ridgely, are you also intending to testify on behalf of Integrity Roadside?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Sifferlin, are you going to be testifying on behalf of MTN Transportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Mr. Carvajal, are you going to be testifying on behalf of Pantusa Towing?
Yes.
Okay, great. I will give each of you an opportunity to do so. Just listen carefully for your turn. I will call on you and ask you to unmute and speak at that time. Okay. Okay, it is also my understanding that based on the record, staff has emailed all of the exhibits staff intends to present to the email addresses that were on file for the respondents. So, to respondents, if you have not already, please check your email to see if you have staff's exhibits. That's going to make it a little bit easier for you to follow along when the exhibits are presented. Ms. Kunkel will be sharing them on the screen so that you can see them on the screen if you have video capability, but it will be small. So if you have it in your email, it might be a little bit easier to read and follow through the email. All right, that's the end of the instructions. Before I start with staff's case, does anyone have any questions about the proceedings and how we're going to proceed today? No, everybody's good. It doesn't look like anyone has any questions. Okay. All right. I think we're ready to proceed then. Ms. Chong, are you ready to present staff's evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, staff calls witness Marquita Riley.
Thank you so much, Ms. Chong. Ms. Riley, if you could go ahead and raise your right hand with me. And there's so many people on this call, I can't see you. Hang on a second. There you are. Sorry. All right, Ms. Riley, thank you. Raise your right hand with me. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in this case will be the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. You may proceed, Ms. Chong.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Riley. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Marquita Riley, MarquitaRiley.
Who is your current employer?
The Public Utilities Commission.
And what is your job title?
I'm the program assistant for the transportation unit.
What is your role in this proceeding?
I review the commission records and coordinate with staff these proceedings against motor carriers that do not have current effective levels of financial responsibility on file with the commission.
Do the statutes and commission's rules require motor carriers to file evidence of financial responsibility with the commission?
Yeah.
Can you tell us which statutes or rules require motor carriers to have evidence of financial responsibility?
Rule 6008 requires that motor carriers file and maintain evidence of financial responsibility with the commission.
And what needs to be provided to the commission to show financial responsibility?
Per Rule 6008, motor carriers must electronically file certain forms such as a Form E as evidence of financial responsibility.
How long does this evidence of financial responsibility remain in effect?
The insurance company must give the commission a 30-day advance written notice when insurance is not being renewed or if it's being canceled.
What is the next step when the PUC receives a notification of cancellation or non-renewal?
We use the commission's op-rights database to compile a list of motor carriers that the commission received written notice of cancellation.
And Ms. Riley, were the exhibits for today's hearing provided to the respondents?
Yes, they were.
And if we could please take a look at what has been previously marked as hearing exhibit 1. Could you please describe this document?
Yes, this is the initial hearing cycle listing that contains the names of the motor carriers that the commission received notice that their financial responsibility was going to expire.
Who prepared this list?
Commission staff.
And how was it prepared?
Through the commission's op-rights database.
When did staff prepare this list?
On May 17th, 2024.
Can you describe where the date appears on exhibit 1?
Yes, it's on the bottom right corner.
Does the commission create a hearing cycle listing like the one we see in exhibit 1 as part of the regular course of its business activities?
Yeah.
Is it the practice of the commission to maintain documents like exhibit 1 as part of its business record in the regular course of its business activities?
Yeah.
Your Honor, at this time, staff would move to admit exhibit 1 into evidence.
Thank you so much, Ms. Chong. Okay, respondents, you now have an opportunity to tell me whether you have any objections to the admission of hearing exhibit 1, which is the hearing cycle listing that was prepared by commission staff on May 17th. I'm going to go down the list and give each of you a chance to do that. Mr. Nava, do you have any objections to the admission of hearing exhibit 1?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Oseglio, do you have any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 1?
I do not.
Thank you. Ms. Ridgely, do you have any objections to the admission of hearing exhibit 1?
No, I do not.
Thank you. Mr. Sifferlin, any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 1?
No.
Thank you. And Mr. Carvajal, any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 1?
No.
All right. Thank you so much. There being no objections to the admission of hearing exhibit 1, hearing exhibit 1 will be admitted into evidence. Thank you,
Thank
Ms.
you,
Chong.
Your
Go
Honor.
ahead.
Based on this list, what action did the commission take?
The commission then sent a letter to each respondent.
I now want to turn your attention to what has been marked as hearing exhibit 2. If we could please pull that up. Thank you. What are these documents?
These are copies of the letters sent to each respondent on today's updated list.
What does the information in the letters tell the respondents?
The letter explains that all operations under its authority may be suspended as of the date the insurance expires, unless proof of proper insurance is filed with the commission. It also provides notice of today's hearing and advises the respondents that if proper evidence of financial responsibility is not submitted to the commission, then its authority may be permanently revoked.
When did the commission send these letters?
The letters were sent on May 17th, 2024.
Is it the practice of the commission to create letters like these in the regular course of its business activity?
Yes,
And is it the practice of the commission to maintain letters like Exhibit 2 as part of its records in the regular course of its business activities?
yes.
Your Honor, at this time, staff would move to admit what's been marked as Exhibit 2 into evidence.
Thank you so much, Ms. Chong. I will again ask all the respondents whether any of them has an objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 2. Mr. Nava, any objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 2, which are the letters sent by the commission to the respondents on May 17th, 2024?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Oseglio, any objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 2?
No.
Ms. Ridgely, any objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 2?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Sifferlin, any objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 2?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Carvajal, any objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 2?
No.
All right, thank you all. Hearing Exhibit 2 will then be admitted into evidence without objection. Go ahead, Ms. Chong.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Riley, does the commission require motor carriers to establish and maintain a designated agent?
Yes, Corporal 6006 requires that motor carriers file and establish a designated agent.
Were these notice letters sent to the addresses of the designated agents on file with the commission?
Yes,
How did the commission serve these letters?
the commission sent the letters through first-class postal mail.
At this time, I want to turn your attention to what's been previously marked as hearing Exhibit 3. Thank you. Could you please describe this document?
Yes, this is the attachment sent with each notice letter in Exhibit 2. The attachment contains information on how to participate in today's video conference hearing.
And what information does this attachment contain?
It contains information on today's electronic hearing and instructions on how to participate in today's hearing.
When was this attachment sent to the respondents?
It was sent with the notice letters in Exhibit 2 on May 17th, 2024.
Is it the commission's standard practice to include this attachment with the notification letters to the respondents when it holds an electronic hearing?
Yes,
Did the commission create this attachment in the regular course of its business activities?
yes,
And is it the practice of the commission to maintain attachments like Exhibit 3 in the regular course of its business activities?
yes.
Your Honor, at this time, staff would move to admit hearing Exhibit 3.
Thank you, Ms. Chong. Okay, I'm going to check with if any of the respondents have objections to the admission of hearing Exhibit 3, which is a copy of Attachment A, listing the requirements and information for using Zoom to attend this hearing that was sent to respondents with the notice letters on May 17th, 2024. Mr. Nava, do you have any objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 3?
No.
Mr. Oseglio, any objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 3?
No.
Thank you. Ms. Ridgely, any objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 3?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Sifferlin, any objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 3?
Come on, hang up.
I'm sorry, did you say you're hanging up?
No, oh no, I'm sorry. I had a call coming in, and so I couldn't take it off mute. But anyway, I do have an objection.
You have an objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 3. What is your objection?
on the front page, it says a hearing regarding the complaint is presently scheduled to be held on June 12, 2024 at 12 p.m. at 1560 Broadway, Suite 250, Denver, Colorado, 80202, please. So I came here.
Mr. Sifferlin,
It's actually,
wait a minute. Are you looking at hearing exhibit 3 or 2?
I don't know, the letter that I got on May 17th, 2024, talked about this hearing. And so I came here to show my documents and to express myself in person. I did not realize that it was by remote only. So I'm at the Public Utilities building now.
I understand, Mr. Sifferlin. Hearing exhibit 2, which was the letters sent giving notice of this hearing, have already been admitted into evidence, and you were asked and did not object to the admission of hearing exhibit 2. So that's already in evidence. Right now, we're talking about the admission of hearing exhibit 3, which is attachment A that was sent with the letters and specifically indicated how the procedures for participating, and that participation can be done remotely by calling in or using Zoom to participate in the hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So my question for you right now is, do you have any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 3, the attachment to the letters?
Am I allowed to text the information or email the information after the hearing?
I'm not sure what information you're referring to. Right now, my only question for you is, do you object to the admission of hearing exhibit 3, which is attachment A, setting out the instructions for participating in this hearing via Zoom?
I do, because I misunderstood. I came here and I got the documents with me showing that I continued insurance. I switched insurance companies because I was running a coach bus.
Okay.
Progressive Insurance does not insure anything that large, so I switched insurance companies. And
Okay.
I believe
Mr.
the
Sutherland-
PUC has a copy of.
Mr. Sutherland, I'm going to overrule your objection. What you are reading and what you read to me before is from hearing exhibit 2, which has already been admitted into evidence and was done so without your objection or the objection of any other respondents. I am looking at hearing exhibit 2 right now, and I can see where you're reading. It says a hearing regarding the complaint is presently scheduled to be held on June 12th, 2024 at noon, 1560 Broadway, Suite 250. Please see enclosed instructions on how to participate in the hearing. That is referring to attachment A, which is hearing exhibit 3, which we are currently talking about. You have indicated an objection to that. You have not provided me with a legal reason that it can't be admitted, so I am overruling your objection. Let me just conclude that by saying, Mr. Carvajal, do you have any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 3?
No.
All right, hearing exhibit 3 will be admitted into evidence over the objection of Mr. Sifferlin. Go ahead, Ms. Chung.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Riley, at this time, I now want to turn your attention to hearing exhibit 4, if we could please display that. Ms. Riley, could you please describe this document?
Yes, this is the certificate of service for the notice letters and attachments sent to each respondent.
Did the commission create this certificate in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes,
Is it the practice of the commission to maintain certificates like this in the regular course of its business?
yes,
Your Honor, at this time, staff moves to admit what's been previously marked as exhibit 4 into evidence.
Thank you, Ms. Chong. Excuse me. I'm going to ask whether any respondents have an objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 4, which is the certificate of service indicating that the notice and attachment was mailed to the respondents on May 17th. All right. Mr. Nava, do you have any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 4, the certificate of service?
No, I don't.
Thank you, Mr. Nava. Mr. Seglio, do you have any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 4?
No, I do not.
Ms. Ridgely, do you have any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 4?
No.
Thank you, Ms. Ridgely. Mr. Sifferlin, any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 4?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Carvajal, any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 4?
No.
Thank you. Hearing exhibit 4 will then be admitted into evidence without objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Riley, the language on the certificate states whose name and addresses appear below, and below that it states see hearing cycle listing. Are these statements referring to the original hearing cycle listing in Exhibit 1?
Yes.
And if we could return to hearing Exhibit 2, which is the notice letter. The letter informs the respondent about what happens if it can provide evidence of insurance or surety coverage before the hearing. If the commission receives evidence of insurance or surety coverage, what happens?
Then we will not proceed against that carrier and dismiss them from the hearing cycle listing.
Did staff create an updated hearing cycle listing for today's hearing?
Yeah.
And if we could take a look at what's been previously been marked as hearing exhibit 5. Ms. Riley, can you please describe this document?
This is the updated hearing cycle listing for today's date. It contains the names of the respondents that we still don't have proof of financial responsibility on file with the commission.
Did staff create this list the same way as you described for hearing exhibit 1?
Yeah.
Who created this document?
Commission staff did
When was it created?
on May 10th, 2024.
Did the commission create this hearing cycle listing in the regular course of its business activities?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, if I could just go back. I think that you said May 10th was the date that it was created.
Yeah. I'm sorry, June 10th. I apologize.
That's okay.
June
Thank
10th.
you.
I apologize.
Okay, and just to clear the record, when was this document created?
On June 10th, 2020.
Okay, thank you. Did the commission create this hearing cycle listing in the regular course of its business activities?
Yeah.
Is it the practice of the commission to maintain the updated hearing cycle listing in Exhibit 5 as part of its records in the regular course of its business activities?
Yeah.
At this time, Your Honor, the staff would move for the admission of what's been previously marked as Exhibit 5.
Thank you, Ms. Chong. Okay, do any of the respondents have an objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 5, which is the updated hearing cycle listing that was created on June 10th, 2024, showing the respondents who remain out of compliance with the commission's rules? Mr. Nava, do you have any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 5?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Oseglio, any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 5?
No.
Thank you. Ms. Ridgely, any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 5?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Sifferlin, any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 5?
No.
Thank you. And Mr. Carvajal, any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 5?
No.
All right, thank you all. Hearing exhibit 5 is then admitted into evidence without objection. Go ahead, Ms. Chong.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Riley, did staff send a letter to all motor carriers listed in hearing exhibit 5?
Yeah.
Do the addresses listed in hearing exhibit 5 match the carriers' addresses in hearing exhibit 2?
Yeah.
When is the last time you checked to see if there was any change in the status of the carriers in exhibit 5?
This morning, June 12th, 2024.
Are you aware of any pending applications affecting any common and contract carriers listed in hearing exhibit 5?
No, we don't have any pending applications at this time.
Does staff recommend dismissing any carriers listed in hearing exhibit 5? And if so, which ones?
Yes, we do have multiple dismissals for this particular hearing. We have Little Stinkers, PUC number 55607, American Pride Limo Services.
Ms. Riley, can you slow down just a little? I want to make
Sorry.
sure I get them all. I can't write that fast. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. It's multiple on this one.
Okay, so let's just patiently go through each one. So the first one was Little Stinkers, you said?
Yes,
Okay, Little
PUC
Stinkers.
number is 55607,
55607. Okay, great. Next,
American Pride Limo Services.
American Pride Limo Services. Okay,
PUC number LL-01741.
01741. Okay,
Yes.
next,
Alpine Taxi Inc.
Alpine Taxi Inc. Okay,
PUC numbers, the first one is 55899.
55899. Do they have two numbers? Okay.
Yes. And the second one is LMT
LMT. Okay.
dash 0005.
0005.
Mhm.
Wow, that's a low number. Okay, next.
Super Towing,
Super Towing. Okay.
PUC number T dash 04537.
04537. Okay.
Boulder Trip Service,
Boulder.
LLC. Mhm.
Okay. Boulder. I didn't see what you said. Boulder what service?
Boulder Trip Service.
Trip. Okay.
Mhm.
Trip service. Got it.
PUC number LL dash 01101.
011101.
Yes.
011101. 6 digits. Okay, got it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And then
Appreciate
American, right? American Eagle Limousine Service, Inc.
American Ego Limo Service Inc. Okay.
PUC number LL dash 01412.
01412. 01412. Okay.
Mhm.
Any others?
Yes.
Okay.
We have
Keep going.
Colorado Finest Moving.
Colorado. What did you say?
Colorado Finest Moving.
Finest. Oh, finest. I heard sinus, and I thought that can't possibly be right.
You were right.
Colorado Finest Moving. Okay, go ahead.
PUC number HHG
HHG.
dash 00475.
00475. Got it.
Mhm. Insurance has been updated for all of those carriers. And then
Okay.
I still have two more from there.
Two
Havana,
more,
two more for
more
dismissals.
dismissals?
Yes.
Okay. So
Havana
just
Towing. Sorry.
Havana Towing. And so these are not ones that had their insurance updated, or are they just?
Those are the ones that have had their insurance updated.
Okay. Okay. And now you've got Havana Towing.
Yes, Havana Towing, PUC number T dash 05593.
05593. Okay.
Yes. That respondent sent in a cancellation form, so their permit has been canceled.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
And then we have Mara Inc.
Mara Inc. Okay.
PUC number, they have two also, 55960.
55960.
And LL dash 03712.
03712. Okay.
Their suspension application was granted by the commission.
Suspension application granted. Okay. But there's none pending, but those two have had their permits updated in the system so that one's
Correct.
canceled and one has been suspended. Okay, got it.
Yes,
Okay, anyone else?
that's it for the dismissal.
Okay, 9 dismissals. Got it. Thank you, Ms. Riley. Thank you for being kind and going through this slowly for me.
Yes, no, you're fine.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Chong.
Thank you. Ms. Riley, are you aware of any letters that were returned to the commission?
Yes, we did have 3 return mail. We had Prestige Limo LLC. No other address was on file for them. Street Kings Towing LLC. We did resend that one
Ms.
out.
Riley, could you say that one again, please?
The first one or the second one?
The name of the second one.
It's Street Kings Towing LLC.
3 Kings Towing LLC?
Street.
Okay. Okay.
We did have another address on file for that respondent, so we did remail that letter out. And we had another one, which is Vale 70 Limo LLC. There was no other address on file for that respondent.
I am hearing some background noise, so if somebody isn't muted, if you would be kind enough to go ahead and mute if you're not speaking right now, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. So I'm hearing that you did try to contact Street Kings Towing in another way. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Were you able to attempt to notice the other carriers in another manner?
No, we did not have any other address on file for those 2.
And was that after you verified that the addresses matched the ones that were in the system?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. When does the decision made after this hearing become a final commission decision?
The recommended decision will come a final commission order decision 20 days after the administrative law judge issues the recommended decision if no exceptions are filed.
What happens if a carrier provides proper proof of insurance before the decision becomes a final order of the commission?
Then the recommended decision will not be enforced against that respondent.
What is staff's recommendation today?
Staff recommends that the certificate of permit numbers listed in here in Exhibit 5 be revoked for lack of financial responsibility as required by law, except for Little Stinkers, American Pride Limo Services, Alpine Taxi Inc., Super Towing, Boulder Trip Service, American Eagle Limo Service Inc., Colorado Finest Moving, Havana Towing LLC, and Mara Inc.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. I have nothing further for this witness and staff rests at this time.
Thank you so much, Ms. Chong. All right, respondents. It is now your opportunity to ask Ms. Riley any questions you may have. You each have an opportunity to what we call cross-examine her. I'm going to go down the respondents list and give you each an opportunity to ask Ms. Riley any questions you may have. First off, Mr. Nava, do you have any questions you would like to ask Ms. Riley?
I do, yes.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Nava. Now is your chance. And remember, this is your chance to ask Ms. Riley a question. I will be giving each of you a chance to tell me your own story and testify yourselves later. Right now, it's just questions for Ms. Riley. So go ahead.
Yeah. Back on May 20th, 23rd, I submitted a permit cancellation form. And I was wondering, what is the best way to cancel my permit without getting it revoked? I decided to stop operations as of right now.
Okay. Ms. Riley, can you help Mr. Nava and answer his question?
Of course. So we do have a cancellation form on our website that you can fill out and either mail or email it to us. I will go on and email you after today's hearing with that form. If you could just fill it out and then email it back to me directly, we can go on and get your permit canceled for you if you like. If by
Okay, yeah, I
chance,
have,
okay,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. If by chance in the future, if you would like to start the business up again, you would just go online to our website to do the application again, and you could keep the same PUC number. I just wanted to give out that information as well.
Got it. Yeah, I have already submitted a permit cancellation form, and I have uploaded it to box.com, the link I was sent at the beginning of the
Ms. Riley,
session.
do you want to go ahead? Go ahead.
Okay. I can go on and accept it if it's already through box.com, but like I said, I can also email you directly and then I could go on and get that canceled today as soon as possible when you send that over to me.
And Mr. Nava, let me
Yeah.
just clarify. Filing something with box.com is for the exhibits that are going to be admitted at this hearing. That's not the same as
Okay.
filing a document with the PUC, with the commission about your permit. That needs to come through our system. And as Ms. Riley indicated,
Got
she
it.
can email you and she'll help you make sure that that gets done properly. But the box.com folder is just for the exhibits for this hearing.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, please, yeah. If you could email
Okay.
me that form again, and I'll
Ms.
email it
Riley's
back
the best. I'm sure she'll help you with that. Okay. Any other questions, Mr. Nava, that you have for Ms. Riley?
The other question I have is, back in April, I sent a request to cancel my insurance to my underwriters, and they told me they would send you all the information to cancel my current permit. And I was wondering if you received any information from my underwriters insurance company.
The only thing the underwriters can do is put a cancellation notice into the insurance. So we can't cancel the permit when the insurance cancels out. We need that form sent in to us by you so that we can go on and cancel your permit.
Okay. Yeah, because I do remember I sent the cancellation form to Sharina Garcia.
Okay, I will follow up with her as well. And like I said, again, I will go on and email you directly so that we could go on and get that permit canceled.
Oh, yes, please. I'll appreciate it if you could do that for me.
Okay, great. Any other questions of Ms. Riley, Mr. Nava? Or does that conclude your questions?
No, that's all.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Riley, for so patiently answering Mr. Nava's questions. All right, Mr. Oseglio, do you have any questions you would like to ask of Ms. Riley?
I do not.
Okay. Ms. Ridgely, do you have any questions you would like to ask of Ms. Riley?
I do not at this time.
Okay, great. Mr. Sifferlin, do you have any questions you'd like to ask of Ms. Riley?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my question is, I acquired a bus, which is a 56-passenger bus, and Progressive does not insure vehicles over 15 passengers. So what I did was I went through another insurance company and got insurance through them for $5 million. And after I got that insurance, I canceled the insurance with Progressive. And so I had a continuation of insurance, actually overlapping a couple of days just to make sure that everything went well. And I had no idea exactly what was going on here. And I've been talking to the insurance company, the new insurance company, but then they found out that I had two companies. And so I've been talking to them. I've been talking to customer service. I haven't been able to talk to underwriters, but they won't send a Form E out if there's two companies. So they're actually in like hearings now. They're doing their investigation to find out what's going on. I talked to them and I said I would switch everything over to them, but that's why the Form E has not been sent out. So my question is,
Mr. Sifferlin, oh, there, thank you. I was hoping you get to the question. Okay, what's your question? Go ahead. What's your question?
My question is, if I show that I had continuation of proof of insurance after the hearing, will my license be revoked?
Okay, Ms. Riley, did you follow all that? Can you answer Mr. Sifferlin's question?
I think so. So we don't go in automatically today to revoke your permit. We actually have to wait until the judge issues their decision. The decision does not come out today. It usually takes them a little bit of time to get that out. So you have 20 days after the judge issues their decision to get your insurance updated. The link for the insurance fine can be found on our webpage for your insurance to file that insurance. So we don't go in just automatically at the end of business day today to revoke your permit. So we do give you a little bit of time to get that done so that you can go on and work that out with your insurance company. I hope that answered your question.
Okay. Well, it does kind of. If I show that I've got proof of insurance and show the documents and everything, I know that they have to send a Form E, but if that hasn't been resolved in the 20 days, would you guys take in consideration that I do have documents, I'm making payments, I can show you all the documents?
Unfortunately,
would I be?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Would I be able to extend the cancellation on that if I show that I do have the documents, if you do not receive the Form E from the insurance company? Because they're in some kind of trying to work it out because I have two companies.
Unfortunately, we're not able to take any paper filings for insurance. It all must be done electronically through your insurance company.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Okay, I hope that answered your question, Mr. Sifferlin. Do you have any other questions for Ms. Riley?
I do not. Thank you very much for your answer.
Thank you, Ms. Riley, for explaining that so thoroughly and so well. Okay, Mr. Carvajal, do you have any questions for Ms. Riley?
Yeah, so I know we do have our insurance. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you just fine.
So where I know the insurance has to send the paperwork in, where do they send it into? Like what email or where are they supposed to send it?
On our webpage, under the puc.colorado.gov, click on transportation. On the right-hand side, there's a link that says insurance filing, where the insurance must be filed from the underwriters.
Okay. So, because I know I did receive that email, and it's the marquita.riley@state.co.us. Can the email there or no?
No, because it must be uploaded through the insurance portal for it to reflect.
Okay. All right, that's it.
Any other questions, Mr. Carvajal?
No, that's all.
Okay, great. Okay, every respondent has now had an opportunity to ask Ms. Riley some cross-examination questions. Ms. Chung, do you have any redirect of Ms. Riley?
No, thank you.
Does commission then rest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you so much. Oh, Ms. Riley, thank you so much for your testimony. You're welcome to hang out, or you may be excused. It's up to you. All right. Turning now to the respondents' cases, you each stated that you wanted to have the opportunity to testify and tell me your stories. Now is your chance to do that. I'm going to, as we've done, go down the list and ask each of you to tell me what you want me to know. All right. So starting with Mr. Nava, I know you don't have video capability, so I'm just going to trust that you're going to raise your right hand with me. Mr. Nava,
Okay.
do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in this case will be the truth?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Nava, go ahead. It's your turn to testify.
Yeah, the reason why I decided to cancel my insurance and stop all operations is because I decided to take a full-time job as a chef at a restaurant.
So
No,
you're not
focus
operating
on-
anymore at all? Okay. So you've
No.
canceled? Okay. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh yeah, I'm not operating during the summer. I'm thinking about going back during the winter season. It'll be about around December of this year. But as of right now, I want to focus on my full-time job that I got
Okay.
at a ski resort in Colorado.
Okay. As Ms. Riley indicated, in order to notify the commission that you are not going to be, that you want to cancel your license or suspend it for the time being, there are forms on the commission's website that allow you to do that. When that is done, then you won't have to worry about the insurance aspect anymore. Having canceled or suspended your permit obviates the need for having insurance on file with the commission. So please look on the commission's website and you will be able to find those forms that you do need to file in order to suspend or cancel your permit. It will also be identified in the decision I eventually write. I will have a paragraph in there that tells you how to access that website and what the address is for it. Okay?
Okay, and I'm just gonna say it again. I have already submitted a permit cancellation form
You did? Okay.
back on May 20th.
Okay. Oh, you submitted on May 20th? Okay. And you
Yeah,
indicated you're going to communicate with Ms. Riley and she'll make sure that it's all you've got all your ducks in a row. Okay?
Yes, please. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. Anything else you want me to know?
No, that's all.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Nava. Ms. Chung, do you have any questions for Mr. Nava?
I do not, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Chung. And I do not either. So, Mr. Nava, that would conclude, that concludes your testimony. But I do understand that you also have 2 documents in the box.com folder that do you intend to or desire to have those admitted into evidence?
Yeah, I uploaded a permit cancellation in my insurance cancellation form.
Okay. Ms. Kunkel, if you could go ahead and bring those up on the screen, that would be great.
Sure. I can do one at a time. Which form did you want first, Mr. Nava?
I would like the permit cancellation.
Okay. And then
Please.
Judge, we can start this one at 100 and then the other one will be 101.
That sounds great, Ms. Kunkel. Thank you.
And then I can do a header after we're finished and make sure that it has a proper header.
That would be great. Thank you. Okay, so let's do 101 first. I'm sorry, 100 first. You told me that and I got it wrong. I'm sorry. All right, when you're ready, Ms. Kunkel.
And this is the Accord insurance form.
Okay, so this is hearing exhibit 100. Oh, please don't make it smaller. Ah! Yeah, that's good. Okay, this is the Accord insurance cancellation request. It's dated April 16th, 2024. It indicates that the insured's name is Revelation Limo LLC. Okay. Mr. Nava, do you want to tell us anything about this document that we're looking at on the screen?
The documents are just showing you that I try to cancel my permit, my PUC permit,
Okay.
about right around April and May.
Okay. Yeah, I see that it's dated that you signed it on April 17th and it's dated April 16th, I think. Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Steph. Yeah, it's dated April 16th, 2024, and it looks like you electronically signed it on April 17th, 2024. All right, did you want to move for the admission of hearing exhibit 100, Mr. Nava?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ms. Chong, do you have any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 100?
No objections.
Okay. Do any of the other respondents have an objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 100, the notice of cancellation, the cancellation form filed on behalf of Revelation Towing? Mr. Useglio?
No.
Ms. Ridgely? Ms. Ridgely, do you have any
No.
objection to, oh, thank you, sorry. Mr. Sifferlin, any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 100?
No.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Carvajal, any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 100?
No.
Thank you all. Hearing exhibit 100 is admitted into evidence without objection. All right. Mr. Carvajal, you had another document too? I'm sorry, not Mr. Carvajal, Mr. Nava. I'm going to get myself confused. I'm sorry. Mr. Nava, you had another exhibit?
No, I don't.
You do not? I thought you had two documents in the docbox.com folder.
Oh yeah. I thought you were looking at both of them.
No, we have to do them one at a time so that we have a clean, clear record. So the first one was marked as hearing exhibit 100, and the second one has been marked as hearing exhibit 101. Ms. Kunkel, if you don't mind pulling up, okay, let's pull up hearing exhibit 101. Can you tell us what we're looking at?
The other one is the cancellation request policy release for my insurance.
Okay, so this is the form you filled out with the PUC, with the commission, to cancel your permit. And that looks like it was filed on May 20th. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, great. Did you want to offer that into admission? Admit this into evidence for this hearing?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Nava. Ms. Chong, do you have any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 101, which is the permit cancellation that Mr. Nava filed on behalf of Revelation Limo with the PUC on May 20th?
No objection.
Thank you, Ms. Chong. Other respondents, any objection to the admission of hearing exhibit 101? Mr. Oseglio?
No.
Great. Ms. Ridgely, any objection?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Ridgely. Mr. Sifferlin, any objection?
No.
And Mr. Carvajal, any objection?
No.
All right. Thank you so much. Hearing exhibit 101 will be admitted into evidence without objection. Okay. Mr. Nava, anything else you want to tell us before you conclude your testimony today?
No. Well, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I am at the moment emailing back the other permit cancellation form I received from Marquita.
Great. Okay.
You should be receiving it in the next few minutes.
Okay, wonderful. I'm sure Ms. Riley will keep an eye out for it and help you as soon as she gets it and as soon as she's able.
Yeah, because I would like to cancel my permit and not get it revoked.
Okay. Ms. Riley will help you take care of all of that. All right. Anything else you want us to know before you conclude your testimony today?
No, that's all.
All right. That concludes Mr. Nava's testimony. Next up, Mr. Oseglio, you said you wanted to testify. What do you want me to know?
I signed up new insurance on
Wait,
April.
hang on. Before you get going, I need to swear you in. So if you would go ahead and raise your right hand, you are under oath. All right, Mr. Oseglio, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in this case will be the truth?
I do.
All right, go ahead and tell me what you want me to know.
So I was just switching my insurance companies from Progressive to Berkshire Hathaway. On April 17th, I signed up Berkshire Hathaway. On April 24th, I called Progressive to cancel my policy. They informed me that Berkshire needed to do my insurance filings with the PUC and told me that since that hadn't been done, I had to give them 30 days notice. So I had two insurances technically for that month. Um, I'm having trouble with Berkshire getting them to file the insurance, the form, is it E?
I'm not sure which one you are missing. I can check real quick. Give me a second. The list I have says Form H, which is cargo insurance, and Form E, liability.
Okay. I'm having trouble getting Berkshire to file these documents. They have informed me that in order for them to make this filing for me, that I have to move all of my commercial vehicles into my policy with them.
Okay.
I've given them all the information to move all the vehicles in, but I'm having a complication where I have a couple of vehicles registered with the state of Colorado that I'm no longer in possession of. My ex-business partner and I dissolved the corporation 8 months ago, and he has not re-registered the three vehicle assets that he took with him. So
Okay, can I stop you for just 1 second? There's something that's confusing me then. Which corporation
Sure.
did you dissolve? T-Bone Services, Inc.?
We didn't dissolve the corporation. We dissolved the partnership. I am still running the corporation as a sole owner now.
I see. So he broke off essentially and took 3 vehicles with him.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, I understand that now. Go ahead.
Okay, so the complication with Berkshire is that he has not re-registered those 3 assets under his name. So according to the state of Colorado, they're still in T-Bone Services name. So I'm trying to provide evidence of the dissolution of the partnership to Berkshire so that they can finish moving all the corporate vehicles into that policy and then file with you guys. But I've been working with them for almost 20 days, and I don't know what else to give them other than the dissolution paperwork that we signed between the partners.
Okay, I will tell you, like in terms of what you're asking your insurer to do and what they're telling you, there's nothing that I can do to get involved to really help you with that. That's
I understand.
something they have to do. I will tell you, as Ms. Riley has already indicated, the revocation isn't going to happen right away. Okay,
Right.
It's going to take me a little bit of time to write up the decision, and then it has to be mailed and got. So that process takes a week or two, and
Okay.
and then you have 20 days after that still before it goes into effect. So in theory, you could have as much as 30 or more days before the revocation actually happens, which is time that you could use to try and work it out with your insurance company, with Berkshire, and get it all worked out
Okay.
and all your
Yeah,
ducks in a row. I'm sorry, I think you
Okay.
froze up for a second.
The internet did that. I was just trying to explain the situation, hoping
Okay.
that I might be able to get maybe an extension since I've had already so many complications trying to get this paperwork to you.
Okay, I will take that into consideration when I issue my order. Okay, Mr. Seglio. I understand that you've had difficulty, but as I said, you should have already, as much as 30 or more days after this hearing to get it all taken care of, which will hopefully be enough time. Do you think that will be enough time, or I haven't been in on the conversation?
Well, I think. Yeah, no, I think the only confusion is I've sent them the one document I'm hoping will work. I've spoken with my ex-partner about signing bills of sales for those vehicles, which hopefully will work. But ultimately, he will have to go and re-register these vehicles. Unfortunately, that takes time. He has to make an appointment. He can't get one of those for at least 2 weeks, and I have to kind of get him to do this. So that's the only reason an extension would help, is that it might take him time to accomplish that third plan.
Okay. Well, thank you for explaining all that to me. I will take that under consideration.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else you want us to know, Mr. Seglio?
No, that's all.
Okay. Ms. Chung, do you have any questions for Mr. Seglio?
No, thank you.
All right. Mr. Nava, do you have any questions for Mr. Seglio?
No.
Ms. Ridgely?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Sifferlin? Mr. Sifferlin, do you have any questions for Mr. Seglio? I can't, you don't seem to be muted, Mr. Sifferlin, but I can't hear you. So I'm just going to assume you don't have any questions unless you tell me otherwise. Mr. Carvajal, do you have any questions?
Sorry, I do not.
Who was just speaking?
That's Edwin Sifferlin,
Okay, thank you,
MTN
Mr. Sifferlin.
Transportation.
Thank you. Mr. Carvajal, do you have any questions?
No questions.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Mr. Seglio, anything else you want me to know? Last chance.
No, that's all.
Are there any documents you wanted to have admitted? I don't know whether you had any uploaded to Box or not.
I did not upload anything,
Okay.
and I understand that the insurance has to send that in, so showing you that would not help.
That is correct. All right. All right, then. That concludes your testimony, Mr. Seglio. Next up, Ms. Ridgely. Ms. Ridgely, are you there? Do you have video capability?
Yes.
If you have a video, do you mind turning it on, or are you on phone?
Oh, I'm sorry, I do not have video capability.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. It's no problem. I will just ask that you please go ahead and raise your right hand with me. Do
Okay.
you swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in this case will be the truth?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Ridgely, go ahead. Tell me what you want me to know.
So we actually ran our last call in March. Marquita did this afternoon email me the cancellation for the permit this afternoon.
You mean the form? She emailed you the form or the actual cancellation? Yeah. She emailed you the form. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I signed that and emailed it back, so that's where our process is.
Okay. So that should take effect before the revocation goes into effect. So I think you should be in good shape if you've already sent it in.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else you want me to know?
Nope, that's it.
Oh, okay. Did you
Mine's
have any?
Pretty simple. We already planned on closing our doors. We just didn't get all of our stuff turned in properly, which it is now.
Okay. And your company's going completely out of business? Is that the plan?
Yeah, we might open up in the future, and Marquita did say that when we are ready, we could get the same PUC number if we decide to reopen.
Yes, the PUC permit numbers are not reused. So if you reopen, you will have the same number.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Before I forget, did you have any documents you wanted to admit into evidence?
No, I do not.
Okay. Ms. Chung, do you have any questions for Ms. Ridgely?
No, thank you.
Does anyone else? Mr. Nava, do you have any questions for Ms. Ridgely?
No.
Mr. Oseglio, do you have any questions for Ms. Ridgely? Ridgely, excuse me. You do not. Okay. Mr. Sifferlin, any questions for Ms. Ridgely?
No.
Okay. And Mr. Carvajal, any questions for Ms. Ridgely?
No.
All right. Ms. Ridgely, anything else you want us to know? Last chance.
No, ma'am.
All right. Then that concludes Ms. Ridgely's testimony. Next up, Mr. Sifferlin. You indicated you wanted to testify as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now's your chance to tell me what you want me to know. If you would go ahead and raise your right hand. I know you're on a phone and I can't see you, but if you do me the honor, please go ahead and raising your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in this case will be the truth? Mr. Sifferlin, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and tell me what you want me to know.
Well, I bought a bus, and again, I was with Progressive Insurance, but they don't insure anything over 15 passenger. I bought a 56 passenger coach bus, and so I had to find another insurance company, and I did. Berkshire Hathaway. And what happened was, when they found out that I had another company, and I didn't do anything with Aspen Snowmass, I left that under Progressive Insurance. And then when they found out that I was insured with another company, we tried to resolve it for like about 3 weeks over the phone, but then we started doing emails. So I have documentation on everything that was said in my effort to resolve the situation, but they're still in hearings, and they have not, they said if you own two companies, we do not send out emails. I'm sorry, Form Es. So I'm working on that. I'll continue to work on that diligently, and my question is, I'll get that information to you as later today.
Okay, great.
Days, because I do have business that I have to do.
Okay.
How do I have to farm it out?
Okay, I understood you had a question though. You can go ahead and ask it. You cut out for a little bit, so I don't know if you asked it and I didn't hear it. Could you repeat it, please?
Okay. My question is, for the next 20 days, can I continue operations under MTN Transportation? And I'll email you documentation showing you that I have been insured since April 12th with Berkshire Hathaway.
So Berkshire Hathaway is insuring you. They're just not sending us the forms that we need. Is that correct?
That's correct, because I have another company and it's under Progressive Insurance. But I told them in person, and I also emailed them, and I could send you all that documentation trying to resolve this. They just have not sent out the Form E.
Okay. And I think you said at the beginning of the hearing that you were trying to upload that information, but didn't have the capacity since you are on your phone at the commission's offices. Is that right?
Yes, I was down at the office, at the PUC office down there, because I thought the hearing was down there. My mistake.
No, everyone, it's not a big deal. As long as you were able to join, and that's what's important. I think we discussed at the beginning that the best thing for you to do is to upload those after the hearing when you have an opportunity to do so. If you don't have an opportunity now, and then can you do me the favor though of describing first of all, how many documents you have and what they are, so that we can get a sense of what we're going to be on the lookout for.
Okay, I have documentations of the insurance.
These are from Berkshire
General.
Hathaway? So proof of insurance from Berkshire Hathaway?
Yes.
Okay.
I have liability insurance of $2 million with an umbrella of $3 million.
Okay.
Is the documents showing that I have been working with Berkshire Hathaway trying to resolve this problem of having two different insurance companies. So that will be the other documentation that I'll send you.
So those are like copies of emails that you've sent to them? Is that what you mean?
Correct.
Okay. So two documents. One is the proof of insurance, and the second is a series of emails showing your discussions with Berkshire Hathaway trying to resolve the problem. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. When we receive those, we'll label them as, I guess, Exhibit 300 and 301. Ms. Chong, does that sound like a reasonable approach to you? Tell me whether you have any objections to doing that.
No objections to proceeding that way.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Chong. Let me run down the list of the other respondents. Mr. Dava, does that sound like an okay plan to you? Mr. Sifferlin, sorry, will be submitting the documents after the hearing. He's described them for us, though, as a proof of insurance and copies of an email exchange he had with his insurer, Berkshire Hathaway. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Mr. Oseglio, does that sound okay to you?
Sure.
Ms. Ridgely? Ms. Ridgely, does that sound like an okay plan to you? You're okay with that?
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you. And Mr. Carvajal?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and just Ms. Kunkel, is it okay if I identify those orally on the record for now as exhibits 300 and 301 that you can so mark when you get them?
Judge, is there a deadline for that? Because they won't be on the hearing report that Tracy will send.
Very good point, Ms. Kunkel. Mr. Sifferlin, how could you get them to us by the end of today? By 5 p.m. today,
No.
is that possible?
Yes.
I'm sorry? Okay, let's say by,
Yes, yes,
need
it
them,
is.
I will leave it open until 5 p.m. today, June 12th, 2024, for you to send those to us. If we don't receive them by the end of the day today, I will not be considering them. Reasonable?
Yes, that's reasonable.
Okay.
Now, how do I get them to you? What address do I send them to? Just to make
Ms.
sure I'm
Kunkel?
sending it to the right place.
Sure. They have to go into a box.com folder, and Ms. Kunkel is much better at explaining that procedure than I am. She will need your email address and will send you all the instructions. Would you be willing to tell us your email address on the record right now so that Ms. Kunkel can make a note of it?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
It's MTN shuttle
Shuttle.
at
Okay. Oh,
Yahoo. Yes. Shuttle at yahoo.com.
okay, I've got M as in mountain, T as in transport, N as in Nancy, shuttle, SHUTTLE all together, MTN shuttle at yahoo.com, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
We got that. Go ahead.
That's,
Sorry.
I was just gonna tell them, so you'll get 2 emails, so make sure that the box.com email that you will get, that is where you have to accept the invitation and upload your documents into that folder. Sometimes it goes into people's spam folders, so make sure if you haven't gotten 2 emails, one from me personally with instructions and the other one from box.com, that you're checking your spam folder for that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ms. Kunkel. All right, Mr. Sifferlin, with that understanding, you will have until the end of the day today. So you've got 3 hours to get those documents into box.com. Otherwise, I will not be able to consider them. All right? And Ms. Chong has agreed to that, and all the other respondents have said fine. Okay?
You know, could I have one extra day, because 3 hours is kind of short and I'm not even home yet to get the documents together, and if I have issues with sending it, then I'm out. So I would like to have that extended for one more day till 5 o'clock tomorrow evening.
5 o'clock tomorrow. That's fine with me. Is that fine with you, Ms. Chong?
Yes, that works. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kunkel, does that work for you?
I will keep an eye out for it.
Okay, so all right, so Mr. Sifferlin, with that request, I will give you until the end of the day tomorrow by 5 p.m. Thursday, June 13th, 2024, to upload exhibits 300 and 301. And if they're not there by the end of the day tomorrow, like I said, I will not be considering them. Okay? All right. Anything else you want me to know, Mr. Sefferlin? Anything else you want to testify to?
Again, I was wondering, am I still allowed to operate for the next 20 days or whatever it takes to suspend the license?
Ms. Riley, would you address that, Mr. Sefferlin, and answer that question for him, if you don't mind? You're still under oath, Ms. Riley.
Yes, as of the date that we have cancellation, unfortunately, you will not be able to operate until the insurance is updated.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so the sooner you can get your insurance updated with us, the sooner you can resume operating. Okay, Mr. Sefferlin, I'm sorry about that, but that is just the hard and fast commission rule for obvious reasons. We have to make sure that those who are transporting the public are properly insured and have the proper financial responsibilities in place. Okay? So I'm hoping, I will keep my fingers crossed that you can get this resolved on behalf of your company as quickly as possible. Did you have any other questions?
I'll do the best I can.
That's all any of us can do, Mr. Sefferlin. So good luck. Anything else you want me to know or anything else you want to ask?
No.
Okay. Ms. Chong, do you have any questions for Mr. Sefferlin?
I do not. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Chong. Do any of the other respondents have questions for Mr. Sefferlin? Mr. Nava?
No.
Mr. Oseglio?
No.
Ms. Ridgely?
No.
And Mr. Carvajal, any questions for Mr. Sefferlin?
No questions.
All right. All right, Mr. Sefferlin, this is your last chance. Anything else you wanted to know before you conclude your testimony?
No.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sefferlin. I will take all of you said under consideration. Mr. Carvajal, you are up. Did you also want to testify?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you go ahead and raise your right hand with me, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding will be the truth?
I do.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Carvajal.
So I don't know why on the letter that I received it says that the insurance expired on today actually, but I know it's good till the 17th, and I know the owner did he did get a new insurance policy, and it starts from the 17th for another year.
Okay.
And I don't know why the insurance hasn't submitted the paperwork, but I know we are already ready and insured for that following year, starting on the 17th.
Okay. Is it a different insurance company?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So it is your insurance company's responsibility to file the forms with the PUC, with the commission. So hopefully they will do that soon, and then you should be in full compliance and able to continue operating.
Yeah, so I know the owner has been in contact with the insurance, and I did ask him just a few minutes ago to call them again and see if they can submit that paperwork so that we are in compliance. Because we've already been through this, I think, like at the end of last year, so I know the process.
So you know the drill. Okay.
Yes.
And I will tell you, as I've told other respondents, you will have a bit of a grace period, right? My decision is going to take a little bit of time to write and to get out. That takes, at least a week, possibly two. This one's going to be a little bit longer than I usually do because we've had so many respondents with us. So that's going to take me a bit of time. And it's not until my decision issues that 20-day clock starts ticking. So with the 20 days plus the time it's going to take me to get out is probably going to be at least 30 days before any of the revocations take effect. Does that make sense? So that
Yes,
you can use that time to get your new insurer to try and get all the forms filed with the commission, and then you should be good to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Anything else you want us to know? Anything else you want to tell me?
No, that's it. I mean, I did submit the copy of the insurance, but I know it doesn't matter since it has to be sent through the insurance.
There's nothing wrong with having it in the record if you'd like to admit it into evidence.
Yeah, I did upload it to the box. I don't
Okay.
know.
Nope, she's got it. There it is. For
Okay, perfect.
Accord Certificate of Liability Insurance dated October 12th, 2023, issued to Pentusa Towing Colorado LLC. Steph, does it have the effective dates on there? Policy effective June, thank you for pointing at it. It does specifically say policy effective June 17th, 2023 to June 17th, 2024. So that is the proof of your insurance. All right. Did you want to go ahead and have that admitted into evidence?
Yes.
Is there anything else you want me to know about this document before we talk about its admission?
No.
Okay. And I think this was marked as Exhibit 200. Is that right, Ms. Conkle?
Yes, I can put a header on that after we're finished.
I know you will. All right. Ms. Chong, do you have any objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 200, which is the Certificate of Liability Insurance from June 17th, 2023 to June 17th, 2024 for Pentusa Towing, Colorado?
No objection.
Thank you, Ms. Chong. Do any of the other respondents have an objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 200? Mr. Nava?
No.
Mr. Seglio?
No.
Ms. Ridgely?
No.
And Mr. Sifferlin? Mr. Sifferlin, do you have any objection to the admission of hearing Exhibit 200, which is the Certificate of Insurance issued to Pentusa Towing, Colorado?
No.
All right, great. So hearing Exhibit 200 will be admitted into evidence without objection. All right. Mr. Carvajal, anything else you wanted me to know while you're testifying?
No, that's all.
Okay. Ms. Chong, do you have any questions for Mr. Carvajal?
No, thank you.
All right. Mr. Nava, any questions for Mr. Carvajal?
No.
Mr. Oseglio?
No.
Ms. Ridgely?
No.
And Mr. Sifferlin?
No.
All right. Thank you all. Mr. Carvajal, last chance. Anything else you want to state in your direct case?
No, that'll be all.
Okay, so that concludes the presentation for Mr. Carvajal. Yes, go ahead. Jim heard something. Does somebody else want to say something? No? Okay. All right. That then concludes the presentations of the respondents and concludes the respondents' cases in chief, or presentation of their evidence. The respondents, therefore, having concluded, I assume, rest. All right. Now, Ms. Chong, you have an opportunity to do any rebuttal. Do you have any rebuttal?
I do not.
All right. Then we have come to the conclusion of the evidentiary portion of the hearing. So let me make some final statements, just providing everybody with some information on how we're going to wrap this up and the procedure from here on out, and then we will be adjourned. All right. The next steps from here are that I will issue a written recommended decision. As I've said before, that decision will not be effective immediately. It's going to be effective 20 days after the mailing date on the decision, which will be stated on the decision. So please pay close attention to that mailing date. Also, as I've already indicated, it's going to take me a little bit to get that decision out. So look for it in about 2 to 3 weeks time. Okay. Can't promise it. I don't know exactly how long it'll take, but it'll take me a bit to get it out, and then it will be effective 20 days after it is mailed. If you could also be sure that we have the correct mailing address for you, it will be sent to you at that mailing address by US mail. The decision will include information on what you can do to avoid revocation. It will basically repeat what we've already stated here today, what Ms. Riley has explained and what I've explained. As I said, I don't know when the decision exactly will be written in mail, but rest assured that you will have time after it is issued to take any action you can to avoid revocation. As I already noted, you will have 20 days from that mailing date to act before the decision is a final decision of the commission. All right, that then concludes the hearing. Does anyone have any last things they want to state? It's your last chance before I adjourn. No. Okay. Thank you all for being here today, for your presentations, for appearing, and for being so patient. This was one of our longer insurance show cause hearings, but that will conclude our hearing. Have a good afternoon. We are adjourned.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice meeting you, Ms. Chong. That was kind of a trial by fire, so
Yeah,
welcome.
totally. Good first one to experience.
Yes, yes. You have now hit it all. The next one will be shorter and easier, I'm sure.
I'm glad.
All right.
Have a good one, everyone.
Thank you, Chong. Thank you, Ms. Riley, if you're still listening. All right.